you got to realize that whatever you're doing, you're competing with somebody. What is it that gives you an advantage over your competition? Whatever you're good at, try to be great at it. And if you're great at it, good things will happen.
Maverick Podcast.
I'm far from average. That's why I had to come sit down and chop it up with DJ Maverick. They know my name from coast to coast and even in Dallas. I use my talent when I'm faced with a challenge. Gratitude strength is my magnet. Close your eyes and imagine. If you can see it in your mind, then you can have it.
Maverick Podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. This is a Maverick Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Maverick. Today, we have another rock star in the building. We have general manager of Rodeo Cinema and also actor, the one and only Shannon Moree Smith. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
I'm super excited. We were already kind of potting before the pod, right?
Right. We were.
Yeah, but before we dive into everything, for the 1% of the people out there that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm an Army brat, so I was born in Fort Benning, Georgia, moved everywhere, lived all over the place. Then I married Air Force, kept moving, ended up here in Oklahoma. So I'm a transplant.
Yeah.
Love it. It reminds me of my home state of Idaho.
Really?
Just without the mountains.
Yeah, I was going to say probably less scenic.
Well, as scenic, but no mountains.
Okay.
So, but I love the people, and so we're staying here for a little bit, and my son's in the Navy, so got 3 branches of the military there, and I'm an actor, and I work at the Rodeo Cinema.
Yeah.
I've managed that puppy and
doing what you love to do. I feel like a lot of creatives have to, especially like actors, singers, like you always hear them like doing random jobs.
Well, and I kind of chose movie theaters on purpose because when I was looking for that day job, I could have done the whole waitressing thing.
Right.
You know, that's sort of
kind of like
cliche of an actor. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I love movies. I'm all my life, as a growing up, I love movies. I go to movies all the time.
Yeah.
So it just seemed to fit that I would work at a movie theater, and I love it. I love getting the environment to where people can come and enjoy watching the stories that hopefully I helped make.
Right.
You know, so
yeah,
it's awesome.
Let's dive into that. So
Okay.
What would you say kind of led you that way, right? Growing up, were you like influenced by anyone or maybe a particular movie that sparked that interest? Was it movie? Was it music? Like what was it that kind of like inspired you to where you are today?
Well, I mean, I'm Gen X, and I'm one of the original latchkey kids where I was always watching TV.
Yeah.
So I was always consuming acting. And it was just sort of a feeling like, I want to do that. That is what I want to do. And it never went away. It never, it was never like, I'm going to be a ballerina one week and a firefighter the next. I always wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And my parents were always like, no, you can't make a living at that. That's not something that you can do. So I never was given that green light to explore that. So I've tried to find other ways to be near the acting and to be near the storytelling. So when I graduated from high school, because my parents didn't allow me to have a job when I was in high school, I got a job at the Egyptian Theater in Boise, Idaho. And it's a historic theater like the one I currently work at. It's along the same theme as the Chinese Man in Hollywood. The architect went around the country and built these themed movie theaters. And obviously the Egyptian is all Egyptian theme in there. It has a full stage. It has the organ still. Wow. And so that was my first job. And
how old do you think that theater is?
It's over 100 years old. And I loved, going around because it had an upstairs where there used to be apartments and dressing rooms. And I loved just wandering around.
You can feel it, right? Because even when I went to Rodeo and we shot there, I mean, you feel like the energy, you feel the magic. It's kind of hard to explain.
It's like it's embedded in the walls.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with it. So every job since then, I always tried to be someplace close to creatives and storytelling. And it just, fortunately for me, I've always been able to work in movie theaters.
Okay.
So, and I don't know what it is about watching an audience go into a room and then come out changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's an
Good or
action
bad.
Marvel movie or one of those sad ones where they're like, oh my gosh, or, it's 50 Shades of Grey, or,
Or something scary where everybody's
Zootopia,
like,
or where they're freaked out because they just watched Poltergeist,
Right.
or,
Right.
there's something magical about that, watching the change in the audience. And it's just something that I grew to love.
Was there a particular movie or TV show that kind of stands out that inspired you, or was it just like
No,
you were just like into everything?
It is all of them.
Yeah.
I love watching actors do their work. I love stories. I love hearing them. I love experiencing them. And I don't even have a particular genre.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to be in the language I understand, as long as there's like subtitles.
Okay.
I love all kinds of storytelling. And so I'm just in a way trying to share that with others and give them a place where they can experience some stories, even stories that maybe might surprise them. Maybe it's something that they never thought that they would like to watch.
Yeah.
I know when when we moved first here, I worked at Harkins, and sometimes we would be able to screen the movies ahead of time. And I remember going into a movie going, oh, I'm not sure. This really isn't my jam kind of movie. I'm just, I'm watching it because we need to get it watched. And I loved it. I was like, that was incredible. And so it's those experiences where you're kind of going in going, I don't know about this movie. And then you come out going, man,
Right.
that movie, that touched me.
Yeah.
I love those experiences. And so as much as I can help others have those moments,
Before social media, before internet, whatever, it was much difficult to do that.
Right.
I feel like a kid now, if they dream and they're creative, they just start a YouTube
It's at
channel.
their
They could just
fingertips.
like do a TikTok, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's at their fingertips. I mean, it's like before, and we would have to like get on our bikes. We'd had to find it. I always acted out. I always tried to entertain people when I was with them. I know I wasn't like a comedian or anything like that,
Yeah.
but I was always trying to entertain or uplift the people around me.
I see.
I always got told by my parents to stop it. So
Yeah.
my parents were not that supportive. Sorry, Mom.
So neither of them are like creatives or
No.
more like type A.
Well,
type,
and it's funny because my mom used to be an artist.
really?
Found some of her sketchbooks at my grandmother's house.
So she was holding out.
She was so good.
Yeah.
And I asked her why she stopped. She goes, oh, guess, it's just a hobby. I don't, you can't make money at that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I hate when I hear that.
gosh.
Yeah.
It's like, but you loved it. You could tell from the art that she loved it at one point.
Do you think in a way maybe that's why maybe they try to shield you a little bit because they were like, I tried to do this art thing, it didn't work out. Maybe they didn't want you.
I don't even think she tried
No.
to make a living at it. I think because both my mom and my dad were boomers. And so I think that it was a generational thing where in their minds, success was the corporate job,
Right.
being able to pay the bills, and that it was expected to hate your job.
Yeah. Climb the ladder, do what you got to do, buy a house, like, right. Like just step.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And that it was expected to hate your job, that if you loved your job, there was something wrong. And I didn't want to live that way. I didn't want to be miserable. I suffer from depression. So I always tend to default to sadness and dark feelings.
Yeah.
So if I want to put energy into it, I want to do something I love.
Right.
And that's why I kind of gravitate towards anything that has to do with storytelling.
I always hear like the paycheck is like what they give you for you to forgive about your dreams, right? Like that's how you forget about it and kind of give up. But so you surrounded yourself how did you start dipping your toes into actually doing the art and becoming an actor, right? Like, how'd you do that?
Well, my first act of rebellion happened after I graduated from high school and I started college. I survived the first semester doing classes that my parents approved of.
Which was what, like accounting or
business classes? Yeah. Math and anything that would help in a business setting of some sort. And then for my second semester, I declared a theater major. And
without telling them?
Without telling them.
That's
arranged to pay for it myself. Mm-hmm. Got a better paying job because the movie theater job wasn't going to cut tuition. And my parents were like, well, your life's going to suck.
So they found out.
Oh,
how did they find out?
Because I'm a horrible liar.
Okay. I was going to say,
I'm a good actor, but I'm a horrible liar as far as I can't deceive people on purpose for malicious.
So they're like, hey, how's college going? And you're like, oh, it's great. I'm learning about film. Like, what?
Well, and then it was just stage theater, tech theater. And I loved it. I loved the vibe of being backstage. I loved the vibe of being on stage. I loved building sets. I loved reading plays. I just, everything was just amazing and new and just, I couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah.
It was like a starving person at a buffet. I was like, this is how I want the rest of my life to feel.
But you gravitated to both being behind the camera and in front of the camera. Like you wanted to learn about every role.
Everything.
Yeah. Okay.
And I put it all on hold when I got married to my husband because he joined the military and we were overseas for the majority of his career. So I couldn't continue my education. There were no theater classes on the military bases that we were at. I did do a few plays. There were a few community theater groups that the spouses would gather together. And so it was sort of a loose, kind of collection of artists that I would eventually find on bases. It wasn't until we got here that I was like, okay, we're back in the States. Mm-hmm. I'm going to finish my degree. And so I started looking into it. I was like, this is really expensive. Mm-hmm. Plus, I'm at an age that I don't want to have to take the classes I don't want anymore because I know I wanted to act. I didn't want to take more tech theater. So I decided to go towards doing more of workshops and things like that. Mm-hmm. I did quite a few plays with Carpenter Square Theater when we first got here. Loved that. Worked backstage, got to be on stage. Mm-hmm. And then I started taking workshops at the Actor Factory and fell in love with film because it wasn't until that point that I made the transition from stage to film.
So prior to that, nothing on film?
Nothing on film. It was all stage.
Okay.
But stage is, while I love the creative process of being on stage and rehearsing over and over and over again and having those new things come up when you're doing a play 3 or 4 nights a week for, the community theater. Yeah. I do love that process, but I love also the fast pace of film and TV, and I spend more time with my family.
Yeah. So you tell me, I don't know if maybe you agree with this or not, but I feel like a play and a film, 2 different animals, right? Because a play, even if you're doing the same thing over and over, based on the audience interactions, the people there, it's going to be a little bit different, right? A film's going to live forever. So,
and sometimes you like that and sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's like, I can't believe they used that version, that take.
True.
But yes, there is something about capturing that magic and being able to share that. And that's something that I am even more exploring working at the Rodeo Cinema, bringing back some of these classics that I grew up loving, that I only saw on television, never got to see on the big screen.
Yeah.
And if those had been plays, I could never show.
That's true.
A Cary Grant movie or Jimmy Stewart or John Wayne.
So if I put you on the spot, picking a live play versus film, would you be able to pick one, or is it picking your favorite kid?
It would be exactly like picking my favorite kid.
Yeah.
plays the energy of a live audience and feeling those emotions from the audience as an actor, and seeing a live performance that's organic as an audience member, that's incredible, an incredible experience. But there's something to be said about being able to share something from the past that people hadn't discovered yet.
Yeah. And it lives for a generation.
Yes. And for instance, I just showed Ocean's 11 from 1960. It has the Rat Pack in it.
That's amazing.
Right? I did not know, or I had forgotten.
I didn't know
that Ocean's 11, the George Clooney, Matt Damon version, was a remake. And so watching it with Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr., it's incredible being able to share that with an audience that maybe hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
I also remember I've played The Quiet Man a few times. And I grew up, when I was a kid, I was probably one of the few people in my class that knew there's a scene from E.T. that comes from The Quiet Man.
Okay.
And so I know that's weird, but it's one of those things where we have these moments in time and scenes that we grow up, just part of our culture, that we don't know where they came from. They just are there.
Yeah.
And being able to see the full picture of it, to watch The Quiet Man and see that scene, go, oh, that's where that came from. That scene in E.T. when E.T.'s watching a show and Elliot is acting it out at school. And it's weird and comical, and you don't know where it came from. And it's just
interesting.
But it's also, I love sharing things that I grew up with and seeing them for myself on the big screen, because there's something about seeing it on the big screen in a room with an audience and not just on your phone or in your living room.
Yeah.
That there's still that sharing of emotions and energy that happens.
How would you describe Rodeo Cinema? Because I think the cinema itself is unique. The business model is unique, I think, right? So how would you describe it? As a boutique cinema, local cinema, different? Like, how would you label it, right? Like, because it's not a normal cinema.
No, it's not. It's independently owned, so it's not corporate owned, and it's run by a nonprofit.
Okay.
And it's been labeled as an independent art house theater. And often when people hear those words, they think of a certain genre of film, the documentaries or those just really weird, offbeat
foreign movies or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Or these offbeat, weird, like Clockwork Orange or something that's kind of funky and
really artsy.
Right. And, and there's audiences for that. And I love those films too. Because like I said, I love all genre of storytelling. But for a movie theater to survive, especially a single screen like we have, I have to be able to hit more of a demographic or more demographics.
Right.
For like various groups instead of focusing on one group. And nowadays, even in conversations I've had with filmmakers, independent film no longer really means the same thing as it used to. A movie-going audience thinks that independent films are the films made on a shoestring budget. And if you're like over into like the 20, 30 million, to a movie-going audience, that to them, it speaks studio or big budget movies.
Yeah.
That's not actually the case. It's where the source of the funds comes from that makes a movie an independent movie or not.
I see.
If the filmmakers had to raise the money themselves, that's an independent movie. If it didn't come from like a single
house,
right?
Yeah.
If it didn't come, Paramount didn't write a check for $30 million. Here's all your funds.
Right.
It's an independent movie.
Okay.
So, but that's not how a movie-going audience sees it. And so there's a disconnect between what the verbiage that filmmakers use and what audience actually understands.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make either group wrong. It just, they're using the terms differently.
Right.
And so when I came on board, I was like, I can't stick with just the documentaries and just these sort of art house films. I need something that will bring an audience in, because I need the name of the movie to be the marketing, the pull, because I didn't have a marketing budget.
And there is an opportunity there. Like you said, many people grew up not having the opportunity to see that movie in theaters.
Right.
And now they get a second chance to do that.
Exactly. Or they haven't seen it in forever.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many times that I have people coming out saying, yeah, I haven't seen that movie in 15 years. I'm so glad you've played it. You know, so when we play the classics, and we have great movies coming up, but I try to be very eclectic and diverse in what we play, because I'm trying to get everybody.
So in your role, you're actually curating the movies?
I am. And
That's
I
really
keep
cool.
begging for more people to come help me, because I don't want to be the only voice, because I know what I like.
Yeah.
But maybe something I haven't heard of is really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know everything, so I can't know all the movies. And so I'm always wanting more voices to say, hey, you know, this movie is really cool. Let's play this movie, because it may be one of those gems that just touches people, and it's something I've never heard of.
Yeah. I think I've lost count how many times I've heard that movie theaters are dead, right? It's always like, this is a year movie theaters are dead, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think there's still a time where you want to go to the movies. You want to see it on the big screen. Like, even like you said, being surrounded by the people, the popcorn, the smells, like everything completely different than watching it at home.
It's kind of like, you know, working out in your home gym versus going to the gym.
True.
You know, when you're at home watching these things, you allow yourself to be distracted by things, whether it's your dogs or your phone, or you pause the movie. But when you're in a movie theater, it's like you focus your energy on what you're watching, because you've paid to be there. You've driven to a place, you've chosen the movie, and you're sitting there, right?
Yeah.
And so you're focused on it more. And so it's a different kind of energy. It doesn't mean that you don't know the story or that you didn't appreciate it when you watched it on your phone, but it's a different kind of audience watching. I mean, what would you call that? You know, observations,
I think it's just an experience, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it really is.
I feel like going back to your gym analogy, like you just don't feel as inspired, right? Like if you go to the gym and you're like seeing people work out, and then you're just like there, like you get in the zone a lot easier. You feel inspired to like go crush it. Versus at home, you're like, okay, I'm kind of like gonna do.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna do it halfway.
Right.
You know? But it really is true. I mean, we can even, the analogy works for work, you know, working from home, or, you know, going to school while at home, you know, doing virtual school. Anything that we have to like put more energy into, we tend to get more out of. And that's what going to the movie theater is kind of like, is you've put more energy into going and participating in this event.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get more out of it.
And you guys are doing really creative stuff even before the movie starts, right? So you were telling me that the shorts that play are different. Like they're not just like previews, right? Like tell me a little bit about that.
One of the things the first thing I did was I stopped playing trailers before the movies, and I said, I want to play shorts, because there's not really a life for shorts after they've been made and go to a film festival, awards season or whatever. They kind of just get put on a drive and put on a shelf. They become a paperweight. And so I wanted to showcase shorts that were made by local filmmakers before my movies.
That's cool.
And I also play music videos of local bands.
Okay.
And so all I need is permission to play it. And I will play as long as it's like PG-13-ish. But I think that is beneficial to the audience, because then they see that things are being made. And
the artists, right? You've got this captive audience.
Exactly.
And like, I don't know, local artists, if they're interested, could they reach out to Rodeo Cinema and be like, hey,
absolutely,
I've got this cool music video coming out. Maybe I want to do the premiere.
Please. Yes, please.
Be careful what you ask for.
Hey, I will tell you, and I keep telling all my filmmaker friends this, as I get promised shorts all the time, and nobody follows through. So actually, one person did follow through. I will change that. One person did follow through, and we did play one of the shorts that he sent us during Halloween or October, but very few people actually follow through.
I feel like there's a lot of
You guys know who you are. You know who you are, and that you owe me shorts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just and music videos. I play. I've played a lot of Imaginaries because they're friends of mine and they're just amazing. We have an event that's going to be happening twice a year called OKC MTV that Steven Stark and Wiley Todd do. And they gather music videos from local musicians and they play them and they talk about the making of the music videos and they talk to the directors and they talk to the artists and they talk about the vision behind the videos. And then I'm usually afterwards going, okay, can I have some of these so I can play them?
Yeah.
And because that's what I think will help connect the artists to their audience.
Mm-hmm.
And they can even put something at the end saying, follow me on this or,
right. There's a ton of opportunity.
Download me on Spotify. Yeah. I will play the whole thing.
Okay.
And so that, and people can know. And I tell the audience, you're about to watch something that's been locally made.
Uh-huh.
So that they're not just watching it in a vacuum. I also play classic cartoons when I don't have, the music videos or shorts.
So why do you think this model hasn't been explored as much? Because I feel there's a lot of opportunities here with like old movies and then also local movies. Like, is there a licensing issue? Like why aren't people showing like The Goonies or whatever, right? Like there's all these cult classics and you don't get to see them. So,
I mean, some of them get pulled and shelved for a little bit to create, demand.
Little nostalgia there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So distribution companies, they're in it to make as much money as possible, more bang for their buck. And when movie theaters, especially the corporate ones, they have deals with the distribution companies and they know months in advance the schedule of movies that are going to be released, when they're going to be released, even before the audience knows. And so all of those are in place. And movie theaters have started doing like their classic Tuesdays or whatever, where they'll bring some back. But there are some independent theaters that will bring back the oldies. It's just, I don't think we have that many here in Oklahoma City. Yeah. And it kind of fits the vibe of the rodeo, which is why I'm like, why weren't you guys doing this? Mm-hmm. It's like an old historic theater. It should be playing historic film, more, older films. They have always done silent films at the rodeo and at Circle Cinema, which is owned by the same kind of group of people. So there is something that it is being repeated in other theaters.
Yeah.
But I think it was, I don't know, maybe it was just me wanting to see my favorite films on the big screen.
It's almost like you're being an entrepreneur. I don't know if you feel this way, but
I do.
You're experimenting, you're coming up with ideas and you're like, hey, we should do this. Like there's an opportunity. Like, is that kind of how you feel? Like this?
I do. And I'm constantly trying to tweak it. I mean, I'm constantly trying to find the, key to getting people to come to the theater. Because, I mean, it is a small independent theater, and if it doesn't make enough money to stay open, it will close. I mean, because it's just makes good business sense to not throw money, down a pit.
Yeah.
So
it's over like 100 years old.
It's 102
right?
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was built in 1924.
I can only imagine like the history there and everything.
I wish we knew more. The stockyards themselves got a grant that they have a group of people that are going to be researching all of the buildings and building a history of the stockyards. So we may be able to find out some more about the rodeo.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that we can learn more about the history so that we can share that, because I think it's always true. When we forget history, we are doomed to repeat it.
True.
Over and over again. Plus, sometimes not knowing the history, we forget where we came from.
So are the owners, they just give you like free reign? They feel comfortable with.
For now, yeah. For now, they're giving me kind of carte blanche.
Yeah.
I've been able to just play and play.
That's cool.
It's always it's a weird balance trying to find what will work, because what works at Circle Cinema in Tulsa is very different than what is working here.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any one answer either. I think it's too complicated for okay, you follow step 1, 2, and 3, and then you'll have success. I think it's going to be a constant balancing act of pulling in a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And one thing that I'm also really happy that we're doing is encouraging film festivals to make the Rodeo Cinema their home.
Yeah.
And because I think that is one of the best ways, the Rodeo Cinema Foundation, their mission is to create the collective of film and community of film and encourage that to grow. And one of the best ways, in my opinion, to do that is through film festivals. I mean, of every kind of genre, demographic. We, this last year, became home to the Great Plains Film Festival, which is in September. And where you and I met, the Oklahoma Latin American Film Festival just started last year. And so this year it's going to be their second year.
And it's the perfect venue for it. Like
it's so beautiful.
Amazing. Like we did the podcast there. We were talking about how the lighting and the acoustics and everything, it's like perfect.
The building itself is so beautiful. And I think that's one of the things I've been struggling the most with is finding the people who just fall in love with the building and will come back no matter what I'm playing. And just keep coming back and enjoying it. Yeah.
So knowing, based on our conversation here, knowing that you also enjoy plays and live acting, are you also exploring that to where you're going to have some live shows there?
We've had some live acts as far as music goes. We are a little, because it's a historic building and it was originally designed as a vaudeville stage. There used to
What
be,
is that? Because I have no idea.
So all the dressing rooms and all where the rigging and everything used to be upstairs. And there is an apartment, they call it the apartment or the penthouse.
Yeah.
There is a building, part of the building that's upstairs above the stage. And it used to be, and you can see in the roof backstage where the spiral staircases used to go upstairs.
Really?
When they put in the fire exits to bring the whole building up to code, they had to take those staircases out, obviously. And it's been probably over a decade.
You've ever been up there?
I have not. I've been on the roof, but only because we had some birds in our ventilation system.
Yeah.
But I've been warned not to go up there by the owners, and so they've been in there and they said it's a mess. But that's where the dressing rooms are. So
based on that, you can't have dressing rooms, I guess. They don't have access to that.
We don't have access to the upstairs anymore. And so there's no green room or dressing room. Now, the burlesque show that we host once a quarter, it doesn't matter to them because they're pretty much undressed most of
True.
They wear very little. And so they all kind of gather backstage. But for a play, if there's like having to be a set changes or costume changes, we're very restricted on what we can do. But music, we are able to do very well. And the acoustics are phenomenal in there. Yeah. And so I would love to bring more live stuff. And we tried to do a play, but then it fell through because it just logistically, the building just does not allow for a play because we just don't have any backstage dressing rooms or dressing areas. And, there's some things that we could probably work around, but it's a historic building that we can't really change it at this point. And there's not a lot of space.
Yeah. So me, thinking as an entrepreneur, how do you test these ideas without burning the staff or losing the trust of like the team, right? If you come off with like this, off the wall idea, and let's say it tanks. I don't know if it probably has never happened to you, but let's say it does.
Oh, it happens quite often.
How do you test ideas, right? How do you do it?
Well, first of all, my staff is awesome. Most of them are my kids, or, friends of theirs. So all of them know me personally.
Okay.
And I try to make it as fun and stress-free as possible. But I think right now the most is when we take a risk on a movie and we think, okay, maybe this one will bring people in, and nobody shows up.
Like what movie? What, like, do you have an
Minecraft
example?
movie.
No way.
Yes, I played it and nobody showed up. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I heard like horror stories about like how many people showed up for this movie. Yeah, I don't get it. Some of the independent films where there's not as much marketing from, power behind them, I kind of get those not having as much of a audience showing up. But movies like a Minecraft movie or, things like that, I'm always like, not even one person showed up.
Right.
This is kind of, but we just don't try. We try not to take them personally.
Yeah.
Because it's a gamble every time. Every time I book a movie, it's a gamble.
And I think that's a good thing, to experiment and try new things, because the big corporate cinemas aren't going to do that, right? Like, so what other venue is going to explore those ideas, right?
Right. And it's especially disheartening for me as an exhibitor when I can't pull in a big audience for the independent filmmakers, because they have this idea that if I make this movie, people will just show up and come.
Yeah.
And that's not what happens. And movie theaters in general right now, there's this huge shift that is happening. Distribution companies are not marketing their films as much anymore, or they're marketing them in a different way. And once a film is not backed by those big marketing departments, there's no marketing for them. I can't even get the posters because the marketing department's like, nah.
That's so crazy.
We don't even keep the posters.
Yeah.
We put the trailer on YouTube. You can just pull it off there. And I'm like, so you guys have no care? And they're like, no.
Jeez.
No, we don't care. Once it's past a certain date, we're like, meh.
Yeah. Do you think that's just because social media and kind of like the attention span is so horrible nowadays?
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, and I've heard some filmmakers are starting to have that conversation of, how to build their audiences, because you can't, the sales departments or the distribution companies, how they are doing business is changing.
Yeah.
And where they get their movies from is changing. Film festivals, what films get into film festivals is starting to change. And it's so, the filmmakers are like, what's going on here? Because it used to be that film festivals were only independent films, with actors that you had never heard of, but there was these amazing performances. Yeah. But now you have films that independently got $30 million and they're getting into film festivals and pushing out all the small filmmakers.
And they've got like established actors and everything.
Exactly. They have, like Matt Damon, and then they also have the budget for that huge marketing that they need to do.
That's so
And
crazy.
so it's really disheartening. And movie theaters as a group have never had to market themselves, ever. They don't market themselves at all. If you've never seen a commercial for AMC, except in AMC.
True. Yeah, I've never thought about that.
You've never seen a Warren commercial, except in the Warren, where it's like, hey, welcome to the Warren, and this is what we do.
Never thought about that.
Or Harkins, none of them. Alamo Roadhouse, I think that's his name. I've seen commercials for them, but they kind of have like this cross where it's the restaurant and the movie theater.
Yeah.
But very few movie theaters know how to market themselves because they've never had to. They've always relied on the distribution companies marketing the films, and the films are what bring the people.
Interesting.
So if you look at an independent film that doesn't have a marketing budget, they're not marketing their film, and they take it to an independent movie house theater like mine. There's no marketing behind it.
So you have to come up with the ideas. You have to
what do I do with this? I mean, they barely have a trailer.
You don't want it to.
I'm printing the posters, right? And It's like that's the hardest part, is gathering enough of an audience to where it makes where I don't have to like watch those poor faces. I feel for them, because nobody wants to make something that they feel really great about and then have no one show up.
But I feel like this day and age, they should know, at least like create a buzz on social media.
Yeah.
Like, try to draw that attention somehow, even if there is no budget, right?
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, it's hard. I don't have a marketing budget at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I pretty much use my marketing budget to print posters and make sure that there is a poster on my windows, so people can visually see what's coming. And we post on social media. We have some great ideas coming up.
Okay.
So watch our socials. We have some great ideas that hopefully in a couple of months we'll be rolling out.
Okay.
That we think everyone will really enjoy. But it's still very difficult because we're having to reinvent or figure out how to market the Rodeo Cinema.
Yeah.
And not the movies.
Yeah. Now, speaking of commercials, I've noticed, I don't know if it's a trend or not, but where more big name actors are doing commercials. And I'm like, that's kind of crazy that so-and-so is doing a commercial for like the cell phone company. Or what do you think is leading to that? Is it just because there's like not as much like big budget films, or is it just getting the bag, right?
I mean, it is getting paid for it. Yeah, it used to be where doing commercials you were a sellout.
Yeah, but I remember like even if they wanted to, and they like, hey, we're going to pay you crazy amount of money. Like,
the first celebrity that I remember seeing where I was like, oh my gosh, he did a commercial and he's infamous now. O.J. Simpson.
Really?
Yeah, was the first.
What did he do a commercial for?
I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
I mean, I remember Ed McMahon.
The Ford Bronco.
But Ford missed out on that one. But yeah, there was something that he did. It was a commercial that he did. And I just remember as a kid being like, oh my gosh, that's O.J. Simpson. And
I just see the big name actors are doing commercials.
And it can be difficult for the small actors who are used to making their bread, their rent money from commercials, losing out because, of course, the ad agency is going to go with Ryan Reynolds. Or
even like building your resume. Like, let's say you're trying to like become an actor, like doing those commercials and stuff.
Yeah, it used to be.
Resume.
And then you would get, depending on if it was a union commercial or not, you would get, some pretty good money from it. Yeah. And then if they wanted to keep playing it, you would get some more money, but now it's all about to the ad agencies and everything. It's about getting that commercial in front of people's faces.
Right.
That's all they care about. Yeah. They're like, who's going to pay attention? Mm-hmm. And so of course they're going to go with the person who's in the news, or the actor who has a movie coming out soon, or Scandal, or as long as it's not a bad scandal.
I mean, even if it is, I've noticed where they ride that wave.
And
I don't know if it's a trend or not, but it's just something that sticks out to me right now.
It's what catches our attention. Yeah. And if we want to change it, guess what we have to do? Not pay attention to those.
Yeah, money talks.
It's like clickbait. It works because we click.
Yeah, true. So what would be your advice for like a kid that, wants to be an actor? Because I don't know how I feel about going to school to learn how to act or like, create films or anything creative, because now I think like you could just do it. I don't know if that's just me, but I don't know. I mean, what do you think about that?
Acting classes for me are like going to the gym for an athlete.
Those reps in.
Yes. Yeah. It helps me to exercise my instrument, which is, my brain, my imagination, my body, all of that.
Yeah.
So I totally go to classes, continue taking workshops. Even if you are a named actor, they keep going to class.
To stay sharp, right?
To stay sharp, yes. And it depends on what you want to do. If you want to do stage and theater, get that theater degree, because they will teach you everything you need to know. Film and TV, there's not as many for acting. that I've seen, the professional workshops have been the path that I've gone.
Yeah.
But like OCCC has a great film department if you're wanting to work behind the camera. There's a lot of them.
I guess it just
Metro
depends.
Tech. It depends on what, do your research. Google information is at our fingertips. So if there's something that you want to do, start reading about it. Start looking at Googling it. Read everything you can about that. And never think that you know everything. Because I mean, until the day I die, I'll be like, I don't know everything.
Right.
Maybe as I'm dying, it's like, okay, now I know everything.
Yeah. I just always struggle with that because I feel like those traditional gatekeepers that were like, okay, you're good enough to be an actor. We're going to put you in this film. Now you could just be discovered off of a TikTok or a viral YouTube video.
Right.
Or whatever.
But you still need to know the business. And that's one thing that not enough actors read about, study, or look at is the business and what the business is doing. Because as creatives, we find business boring.
Yeah.
It requires us to think in a different way. Maybe I'm blessed that I kind of have both. I'm able to play on both sides of that brain. But business is not something that most creatives love.
That's true.
But it will do you well to pay attention to those things.
Yeah.
Because the trends and how the business itself works, understanding that will make it easier and also make it less disheartening when it's not working out the way you think it should.
Okay.
This last week for a project that was happening out at Filmmakers Ranch, I was a driver for people from different aspects of the business. And talking to each of them was just amazing because they each know very well their section of the business.
Yeah.
And so as an actor, being able to connect the dots to see what is happening behind the scenes, what you don't see.
Very true. It's not a black box, right? Like,
Yeah. As actors, we are used to just showing up on set and doing our thing and then we leave. But if you can understand all the other stuff behind it, then not getting the part when you audition the sting doesn't feel as bad.
Yeah.
Understanding what goes into negotiations for your contracts, understanding what each of the positions on set do. All of those things can help make it easier for you as an actor to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
And also, if acting isn't what you are interested in, knowing what the actor is supposed to be doing and knowing how the actor is going to work can also be beneficial for a director, for the grip, for hair and makeup, for all of the different departments. So creating that understanding among everyone on what each of our jobs is and how we come together and how that synergy works. It makes the magic easier to create, in my opinion.
Have you actually done some film now? Like you're actually in some projects? Tell me about that. Tell me some.
Well, I mean, it's been a minute. I am SAG eligible, so I love that.
Tell me about that. I want you to explain everything like I'm 5 years old because someone that's watching this, maybe they don't know. What does that entail? Right?
So Screen Actors Guild, it's actually SAG-AFTRA is two unions that joined. Screen Actors Guild, American Radio, Film and Television. I don't know.
Right letters.
Yeah. AFTRA. Anyway, they are the union for actors. And there's a process that a new actor can go through if they are hired on a union film, to speak, to have a speaking role. Then they are what is called Taft-Hartley'd in. Paperwork is filled out.
So you're earning credits type of thing? Or
no. So it's sort of a catch-22.
Yeah.
To get into the guild, the union, you have to work on a union project as a speaking actor. But to get a role on a union project as a speaking actor, you have to be a member of the
I
union,
see where this is going.
right?
Yeah. So
Catch 22.
So what do you do?
So many years ago, like the early 1900s, Taft-Hartley was passed that created sort of a backdoor to all unions, not just SAG-AFTRA, but I believe it was a coal mining case that said, okay, if a union or an employer can't find a union worker,
Yeah.
they can hire a non-union worker and fill out some paperwork, and then now that worker can join the union.
I see. So you're kind of like on the bench, like put me in,
Yeah.
type of thing.
Right.
Okay.
So it fixes the project going, we don't have a union actor that we can hire, and they have to fill out paperwork, and they pay a penalty fee
Yeah.
for not hiring a union actor. And they have to explain why they didn't hire a union actor. And then that makes that actor eligible to join the union.
I see.
And I can stay in that spot for forever.
Is there like a list, a website? Like where do people, like
Yep.
you're eligible, where do they go see who's that?
SAGAFTRA.com or .org. Yeah. And every project from now on, every union project, I give them my information. They will go look me up,
I see.
and then they'll see that I'm eligible.
Okay.
So then they don't have to fill out the paperwork because I'm in the system.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, because every actor is kind of given this feeling that it takes forever to happen,
Right.
and it really can. So when it happened for me, I was like, wait, what?
You couldn't believe it.
And so when I was asked to fill out that paperwork, I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
That's
I can't
amazing.
believe it. And then I had this sort of like, okay, now what do I work for? What do I work towards? What goal do I go to now? Because I was like,
That was like,
I
what
thought
you were
this was going to
striving.
be like the pinnacle of my career. And I feel like I'm very much still at the very beginning of my acting career. I don't think I'll ever feel like I've made it
Yeah.
ever. And I've been in 4 films, but I don't think I'll ever feel like I've made it.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that. I think that you should always stay ambitious and always try to learn something new.
I love acting. I love the stories that are created. I love the compassion and empathy that it creates in me, being able to understand what someone else went through.
Yeah.
Whether I'm creating that story as the actor or whether I'm watching that story on film.
Do you think you're also going to explore maybe writing some of these stories?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Okay.
This year, yes.
Because I think that would be cool too, to like
I
be
have
able to
so
see,
many
like,
ideas. Yeah.
Very cool.
I did not realize, this is a weird thing about me, there's always a story going on in my head.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Not related to what's going on.
Not
in real
related
life.
to what's going on.
Okay.
It's like this movie's playing in the background and I'm editing and re-editing
Amazing.
and stopping and going, no, they're going to do this now.
Yeah.
I did not realize that that's not something that happens
You're like,
to
wait,
everyone.
does it happen to you? Like
I didn't. It wasn't. I was very much an adult before I realized that is not how everyone's brain works.
Mm.
So I have so many ideas, and there are times where I'll be staring off, and people are like, "Where did she go?" I was just watching the movie that's been going on in my head
Yeah.
this whole time. So
Interesting. So one of the things I always like to talk about is music. But before we talk about your playlist, I want you to tell me about this Outkast story, because we were talking before we
Yeah.
started. You blew my mind with that. So tell me about this.
I
Outkast.
just learned this today, guys, and you can look it up.
Okay.
So Outkast did this song, "Hey Ya." It's now probably in your head right now. Hey,
It's happy. It's like you party.
right? It's a
sweet
party
thing, right?
song, right? Everyone's upbeat, and it is. If you look at the lyrics, and what I watched was they were talking about how Outkast did this as a social experiment,
Mhm.
because this song is about his depression,
That's so crazy to me.
and it's about his loneliness and his sadness.
Yeah.
And when he first showed this, played this song to his reps, they're like, "This song is never going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
He's like, just watch. I know exactly what to do with this song. And so he's like, he wanted to see what would happen if he took this really sad, and it's a very, if you read the lyrics, it is a sad, depressing song.
As soon as we leave here, I'm gonna play it because I'm trying to think about the lyrics, and it's like the only thing I can remember is like shaking like a Polaroid picture.
You only
that's
all you remember.
I don't know.
No, he's like, he put this really sad song about depression, his depression and loneliness, to the happiest, most upbeat music to see if anyone would notice what the song was actually about.
Apparently not. Nobody's noticed.
Nobody. Yeah. I saw this on Instagram Reels.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then I went and I looked at the lyrics. I'm like, they are right.
Yeah.
It is so heart-wrenching, the sadness that he must have felt when he was writing this music. And then to watch everyone party to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
what does that do to somebody? I am so sorry, Outcast. I am so sorry.
But you think maybe he did that because they were stuck in this like record label and they were like, there's no outlet for this song. It doesn't match the quote unquote Outcast vibe. And he's like, well, I'm going to make it like, this is my outlet. I don't know. Like that would suck if that's like the reason why, right?
It said that he did it on purpose. So it is a very purposeful decision that he made. And I don't know the Real Eyes show I watched, and I haven't, because like I said, I just learned this today myself. I haven't gone in to see like how he feels about it, see if he talked about how he feels about that. I would be interested to find out artist to artist, like what did that feel like?
Yeah.
To watch your social experiment happen that way.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a big Outkast fan, and I think, I don't know, he's like doesn't want to do new music. Maybe he's afraid to not be like at that level, because he did a clip. I don't know if you've heard, like the album he did was like all wind instruments.
Oh wow.
And it's like not related to hip hop at all. And I don't know if he's just like,
maybe
I don't want to like touch that anymore. Like, I don't know.
Maybe that hurt, you know, because I mean, we're human beings, and most creatives feel things very, very deeply. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we overthink things, but to watch, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
a big fan.
I don't know how I would feel if something that was just very painful for me to write brought, you know, everyone this happiness,
and it's played
like
at
everyone's
party.
Happy about
everybody's like, you know, shaking their butt to the song. Like it's so crazy to think of.
I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Yeah.
It would take a strong person to not be affected by that,
for sure.
But as an artist, isn't that also what we do? We kind of take pieces of our heart and we kind of set it out into the world.
Yeah.
And as creatives, that's what we do. And when it's not received the way we intended it, or it's rejected. Oh man,
I'm sorry, Outkast. I didn't know it was that deep. I thought it was just like shaking it, like, hey, it's a happy song. I don't know.
No, go read the lyrics.
Okay.
Very, very sad.
I definitely wanted to ask you about that before we dived in. So let's talk about your playlist. What's on your playlist?
Oh, I am very eclectic. I have everything from like the William Tell Overture to Divine by Stray Kids.
Okay.
To, I love Metallica, especially when they did their music with the San Francisco Symphony.
Yeah, that was really cool.
So, and then I have, you know, David Bowie and the Beatles and Queen and Taylor Swift. I if a song hits me right, it goes on my playlist.
What's like an unappreciated artist that you would say like you have to check out this artist?
I would say Stray Kids. They're my number one right now. They really are. And I know that they don't get much love in their home country, which is sad to me. Like, it's like the rest of the world is going, hey, Korea, get with it, man.
Right.
But I don't know. When I first heard one of their songs, it felt like they had found a piece of my soul, set it to music, and then sent it back to me.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And music is like that for me. I connect very deeply with music, so that's why I don't really generally don't have like one favorite.
Okay.
but I have a very short list of who I'd go to concerts for. U2, New Kids on the Block,
Really?
and Stray Kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. It's a diverse list for sure.
Yeah.
Have you seen all those?
I have. I have
Yeah?
seen them all in concert, and they are
I've
all
only seen
phenomenal.
New Kids in concert.
Really?
Out of that list.
Yeah. I want to try to get to their Las Vegas residency before that finishes.
They're still like killing it. Like you see
they
some of
are.
these like legacy bands, and it's like, okay, maybe you're not at that level anymore, and you kind of hate to see it almost.
Right.
But New Kids, like they're still like
They're
at that
still
level.
killing it.
Yeah.
I was so glad when they got back together, and I got to meet them once.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me about that. How did that happen?
So we were in Japan
Okay.
when I heard that they were getting back together and doing another tour. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to see them.
Oh.
And we were on the docket to be moved back to the States. Originally, we were supposed to move to Missouri. So we found that they were going to do a concert in St. Louis and bought tickets, the whole bit. Then our base was changed to Oklahoma City.
Oh man.
And just after we moved here, my husband and I drove up to St. Louis
Okay.
to see them in concert. And I did the whole VIP package where I got to kind of meet them. And it was amazing. Because it was on my bucket list, which I thought I would never get to do when they not really disbanded, but started doing their own stuff.
Right.
And I love Donnie Wahlberg's acting. I think he is a great actor. Joey McIntyre is also a really good actor. And
his solo work is pretty cool.
oh
too.
my gosh,
Yeah.
he is so good.
Yeah.
My favorite song of theirs right now is Boys in the Band.
Okay. My favorite song from them is Please Don't Go Girl. I think that's like
Yes.
like my
Okay, do you like it pre-puberty or post-puberty? Do you like the high?
I like
note?
I'm a sucker for like the high notes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, like, have you been to a show where they do it again?
I have.
Okay.
I have. And
So which one do you
is-
prefer?
I kind of like his voice now.
Yeah?
I do.
Okay.
I don't know. I like deeper voices.
Yeah.
It's kind of what got me with Stray Kids is Felix's voice. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
I love the deeper voices. So, and but I also love how pure his voice still is.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Awesome.
and I tend to like, I don't know if it's because I'm female, but I tend to like male bands more than female bands. But I still listen to like Stevie Nicks,
Yeah.
Madonna, Cyndi Lauper.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have all of them on my playlist.
So whenever you're watching a movie, I bet you're also paying attention to those
the music.
those songs, right? Like the musical score. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite soundtracks is for a movie. It was an independent movie called Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater.
Okay.
It is one of the most phenomenal soundtracks.
Yeah.
I love that.
I
I also love Lost Boys.
Yeah.
The Lost Boys soundtrack too.
I've been impressed with a lot of the recent shows where they're bringing back throwbacks, like Stranger Things.
Oh,
And I'm sure they're doing that on purpose. That
They
way,
are.
like they're kind of draw and play
it's
like
we
to
were
the kids
saying.
and the
Yeah, it's like what we were saying is it has a built-in audience
Yeah.
that just draws them in because people will go, I want to see that. I want to see how they use it. I want to see.
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just tapping into those built-in audiences.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I want to thank you for your time. It's been amazing. I feel like we could do a deep dive into music alone.
Oh my gosh. I could talk for hours
Yeah.
about, music, movies.
Some of the upcoming things that are going to be happening at Rodeo Cinema.
We have
Where can people check it out? And,
All right. So rodeocinema.org is our website. If you need to email me those shorts that you owe me,
music
you
videos
know who I've
too. I
talked.
think
Music videos
that's
too.
a huge opportunity.
Yeah, music videos. info@rodeocinema.org. We have, I'm so excited about this. Since I took over at the rodeo, I have been begging my distributor for anything K-pop.
Okay.
I tried to get Blackpink's documentary. Couldn't get it. Tried to get BTS's documentary. Couldn't get it. Couldn't get either of them. Tried to get IU's new documentary. Couldn't get hers either. So when I heard about Stray Kids, their concert video and documentary coming out, I immediately emailed my booker. I was like, please, can I get this?
Yeah.
It's going through Bleecker Street. Thank you, Bleecker Street. and we got it.
You got it? Wow.
Yes.
Oh, that's
February 6th, 7th, and 9th.
Oh, and it's coming up.
It is.
Okay.
So it's in a few weeks. Now on Saturday, February 7th, you guys, I have collabed with OKC, hopefully OKC K-pop. Haven't heard for sure.
Yeah.
Love you guys. And Race Dance Studio, guys. And they are going to teach a K-pop dance class
No way.
on our stage.
That's amazing.
And then they're going to do a showcase. You know, they have some amazing dancers at Race Dance Studio. They're going to do a K-pop showcase. There's going to be photo cards, all kinds of things on Saturday, February 7th at noon is when it's going to start. And then at 2, we're going to watch the movie.
Too cool.
Right?
Awesome.
And you can vote. If you go to any of our social medias on Facebook or Instagram, you can vote for your favorite Stray Kids music videos, and I will play those as trailers before the movie.
Wow. Okay.
The top 2 that get voted.
Perfect.
Because I would play them all. I would be like, okay, we're going to be here for like 5 hours, guys. Because
first we're called in for Monday. You're not going to work.
We're just going to stay here because they are. Oh, their videos are so cinematic.
Yeah,
they're
super creative.
They are so beautiful on this big screen. Anyway, so we have that. We're bringing back the Princess Bride again. We did it last year, interactive Princess Bride over Valentine's Day. We're doing it again this year.
Awesome.
And then we have a burlesque show Saturday, the Valentine's Day, Saturday evening.
Okay.
So we have that coming up. We have, and what I'm most proud of is there's 4 series that are curated by not me. So there are other people, because as I said earlier, like I want other voices.
Yeah.
So we have a series called Echoes and Origins, which is done by Elijah Bigler. And he finds filmmakers that have made a short, local filmmakers, and we watch the short and then the movie of the director or the movie that inspired their short. So you kind of see what inspiration they took from this other movie.
Yeah.
And then we have the Norman Film Society, which is done by Broden Fulton. And he tends to do very eclectic foreign films. I love it. A lot of it has just beautiful cinematography. And then they'll talk about it. And then we have the Oklahoma Film Society, which is one of the board members of the Rodeo Cinema Foundation. He loves film, Alex Palmer.
Shout out.
And he just brings this wide variety. He loves a lot of horror, but he loves a lot of like Kubrick and just sort of like off the wall ones. This month, he's doing, for the Oklahoma Film Society, we're doing Beyond the Black Rainbow tomorrow. I don't know when this comes out. Sorry, this is in January. But then we also have Twin Peaks coming out with Norman Film Society.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we go back to our roots with silent movies. Mike Evans is the organist he picks the silent films and then he plays live to them. Wow. Yes, in the theater. We have an organ and he's just phenomenal. And you get to see some of these greats.
Where else are you going to be able to get that experience?
Right? Yeah, he loves like Lou Chaney and Buster Keaton and Laurel and Hardy, and he loves the dramatic also. We got quite a few. I did not know that there's a Lost World movie from 1903.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Lost World. So it's like it's almost like what Shakespeare said. There's no new stories.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But it's really interesting watching where these things come from, where things that we see today in today's movies, seeing where they came from, what inspired those people. So, and I also love that it's not me choosing him. So there's other voices.
Love that.
Because again, I want all of us feeling like we're represented.
Yeah.
At the rodeo.
Yeah. So that's Rodeo Cinema. What about you personally, your projects? Do you have like public facing social media or really?
I do. I often post mostly about the rodeo and my family at Shannon Moree, Moree. And For acting, the last thing I did was a Christmas movie called The One, which is a local filmmaker, and it comes out next Christmas. So really excited. I think this coming year.
Yeah.
It had Martin Sheen in it too. I did not get to meet him, but yes, he's in the movie too.
Wow.
And I don't have anything coming up. I know right now, if you ask anyone in the film industry, we'll all tell you that things are kind of slow right now.
Yeah.
I'm also, not always I'm not a lead actor. I'm sort of a supporting actor as far as because of my looks and my age. So far.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about it because I really do believe that what's mine comes to me.
Yeah.
And I just I take classes and I study, I work on myself. I try to be a whole human being so that when I'm asked to show up as an actor, I have this life experience that I can pull from.
And I think the great thing about the time that we live in now, if that opportunity doesn't come, you can create that opportunity, right? Like you can say, okay, I want to do this movie. I want to be the lead actor. I'm just going to do it.
And that's one of the things I'm going to be starting to write. I already have a couple of mentors lined up for me to start writing because not because I feel like I'm not being represented or I'm being left out of the film industry, but just because I have so many stories in my head.
You're like, I got to get
them out. I got to get them out. And so I'm excited to start that. And I've been told to make sure I always write a part in there for myself.
Yeah.
And it won't always be the lead, but there's some great ideas. I mean, I think they're great, but we'll see. We'll see.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for your time. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yes.
Always welcome back.
Thank you.
All right. There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, the super talented Shannon Moree Smith on the Maverick Podcast. In dreams, we trust.